everyone, so I'm sure you can guess what I'm gonna say. I am not a professional. I just wanted to throw that out there. I just like to highlight and low light my hair at home. I have had so many problems going to salons, and every time I come home, they don't give me that ashy cool look that I like for the low lights. It's always, you know, too warm, too reddish, too orangish, too whatever. And I was like, you know what, I can do this myself. So this is what I've been doing, and sometimes I do, you know, more of a whole head, but right now I'm just gonna do the top portion of my hair for you guys. So I'm just gonna show you what I do. Let's get started. So I am using L'Oreal Touch-On Highlights and Iced Champagne. I'm putting the powder in the little container and then mixing the developer in with it. And I just mix it really, really like well until there's no bumps or anything like that. Then I like to grab a stack of paper towels because even though I have gloves on, I still like to wipe off some of the solution that's on the gloves throughout the process. Okay, so I like to start at the top, kind of like my natural part area where I part my hair every day, and then I work my way down. I know some other people do it the opposite way, but this way works better for me. And I like the top area to be the lightest anyway and be processing the longest because that's what I'm gonna see the most. So I haven't colored my hair in probably 5 or 6 months. Usually I do it every 3 to 4 months, but I like giving my hair as much of a break as I can because obviously this is bleach that I'm adding onto my hair and I just don't want to do that too often. I'm not putting the bleach all the way up to like my actual top of my hair, like the beginning of my root. I'm leaving that maybe like a 1/4 inch, maybe an 1/8 of an inch, something like that. I like that kind of natural shadow. Otherwise I just look like I'm completely bleached out at the top and it just doesn't look very natural. So what I'm doing throughout this process, sometimes I'm weaving the hair kind of in and out and then doing those strands and putting the other strands on the other side. But I think the biggest, most important tip that I can say is you need to fully saturate like the top and the bottom of the hair that you're doing. Like really grabbing it with both fingers, lifting it up, doing the underside. I think the more saturated it can be, the better. And if you're just doing your roots, you don't have to put a ton of blonde towards the end. Sometimes I drag it out on just a few strands so I have some of those brighter pieces on the end just to kind of brighten up my overall look. But it's, you know, since that has already been processed on the ends and it's lighter, I don't necessarily, you know, it's not that healthy for it to have even more bleach on it. And I know you guys have seen my command hook on my door with my Sally's mirror hanging from it, but that really helps me do the back of my hair. If I didn't have that, I don't think there's any way that this could work out for me. So that really helps and I highly suggest it. And just make sure the command hook holds 5 pounds because that mirror is pretty heavy. And some of the command hooks only hold like 2 pounds or 3 pounds. So 5 pounds and you're good. I'm sure you guys have heard of Olaplex by now, and if you'll see there's a little Olaplex on my sink towards the left of the faucet. I did try a few test strands with it. I know it says to up the developer because it kind of waters down the mixture, but it really made the highlights golden. And that, you know, from what I said earlier, is the last thing that I want. I wanted the highlights to be really bright, bleachy, and I want my lowlights to be ashy and cooler. So not that that had anything to do with my lowlights, but you don't really use it for lowlights. It's mostly like, you know, lifting and all of that. But it just didn't work for me. I think if you were going to use actual, you know, developer and dye from another brand or, you know, maybe go to Sally's, you could up your developer by 10 and use Olaplex and you might have better luck. But with bleaching, I don't know. It's not going to work with this kit at home, or at least it didn't work for me. I don't know what type of bleach you're going, you know, the look you're trying to achieve, but if you want that really white blonde, then I would recommend skipping the Olaplex and not highlighting your hair that often. So fully saturating the piece of hair that you're doing is my #1 tip. My second tip that is so important is I like to leave this on 55 minutes after I finish the last strand. So I set my timer for 55 minutes and then I just kind of go about and do whatever, and then I come back and rinse it. If you wanted to do less than 55 minutes, then you'd want to put a cap on and put, you know, aim a blow dryer at it and speed up the process that way. One more thing too is when I got going, I actually was kind of in a mood to do a little bit more and I didn't have enough. So you may want to buy 2 boxes just to have extra because 1 box doesn't really do that much. Okay, when I feel like I'm done, I'm not going to put my hair in a cap or anything. I'm just going to set my timer for 55 minutes and I'm just going to go hang out. When the time is up, I'm going to rinse the solution from my hair, add the conditioner that the kit comes with, rinse out the conditioner, blow dry my hair, and get ready for the lowlights. Okay, so now we are ready for the lowlights. I'm using L'Oreal Preference in the 5A color, and my blonde is a lot fresher. I'm going to go ahead and add the lowlights afterwards because I can see where the blonde is, and I can see where the lowlights go. I just feel like I have more control that way, and I just think it just blends so much prettier when I can pick and choose like where I want each low light. So basically I'm doing the same process. I'm weaving out some pieces, other pieces I'm just, doing the little section of it and moving on to another small section. I can't emphasize this enough when it comes to this 5A product, is a little goes a long way. The last thing you want to do is do big chunks or, just put too many pieces in a row next to each other. Your whole head will turn brown in like a matter of seconds. So you just want to do really tiny strands, and when you weave them, make sure those strands are tiny too. And I like to not really concentrate that much on the top. I like to do a little bit like underneath, like the peekaboo sections. I do a little bit on the top, but those are like super small. And then on the, peekaboo sections, you can do a little bit bigger. So just kind of play with it and see, and it might take a few tries to get like your overall look exactly how you want it to be. And you can always go back and add more. That's the beauty of it. So I just like having the control to be able to do it at home. Obviously, it's a lot more affordable. And low lights take very quickly, so after you do the last strand, I just go ahead and time the timer for 25 minutes, and that seems to work perfect for me. So here are some before and after little clips, and then a few tips for you at the end here too as well. And if you try this, please let me know what you think. I'd love to hear, and I'd love to hear how you highlight and low light your hair too. If you have a different box mix that you use, or if you use some mix from Sally's or Paul Mitchell or anything like that, I would be really interested in hearing that. So I hope you guys are having a great day, and I hope you enjoy spring, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye.